All right, guys. Um. Oh man, yeah, you thought that Elon Trump feud was fucking nuts. Check this out, man. We're cooked, bro. So many people's lives is about to get tarnished, man. Unfortunately, because how in the fuck you don't know that it's not hurricane season and you're supposed to be the head of FEMA? How is that? I know how that's possible. See, what happens when you put people that don't know what the hell they doing in positions that they shouldn't run or shouldn't be ahead of. That's like putting me in charge of a salon and I don't know nothing about hair. Like that's literally the same thing. And this is from CBS News, man. It says the acting head of FEMA said he wasn't aware U.S. had a hurricane season. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. And then this is the year where the tropics have already been ramped up. Like it's already um, been like chances of development in the Atlantic. Oh my god, bro. Bro, United States is like, man, we going back to the Gilded Ages, man. Holy shit, we supposed to go forward. Like things are supposed to be better, but we're going backwards in time, bro. Oh my god. You didn't know that was a hurricane season? Oh lord. Um, I might as well play this video. You know, they always have a video with this shit. So, oh boy.
2025 hurricane season is officially here, and it comes as many communities are still recovering from storms from last year. Senior weather correspondent Rob Marciano joins us now from Captiva Island down in Florida. Good morning to you, Rob. I know that you're in an area that includes people who are still recovering from what happened in 2024. What are you hearing from them on how ready they are for more?
Well, it's been a slow go, and it's been frustrating, all sorts of issues, supply issues, contractors, insurance, that kind of stuff. And so we came to a spot that got hit by, not by...
Now, it's been not even a year, almost a whole year since the last hurricane that hit Florida. I think, um, um, yeah, that the one that was in the Gulf. And usually hurricanes always come from the east, but this one came from the west. Unusually, and it was a Category 5, and it was the most strongest Category 5 recorded. And people are still struggling. Like shit is still destroyed. Like and this was under the Biden administration. Like when people say that Democrats are better, things would be better on Harris. If Kamala Harris was still president, if Kamala Harris was president, like people would still not have their stuff built. Like this under Trump, so this is no surprise. Like and then Trump said himself he wanted to cut people as well. So yeah, this is fucked up. And then so your property is still damaged, and then you gotta now prepare for another hurricane season that's supposed to be even worse than last year. Wow.
By one, but three hurricanes, two of which were major hurricanes, Helene and then Milton, and we're on the southwest coast of Florida.
Hurricane Milton. Yeah, Milton was the one that came from the Gulf and went through Tampa. Yeah, man, I forgot the name of those storms. Holy shit! And Helene was the one that went up that's real and they damaged there. Like it's unusual for a hurricane to go that far inland. So yeah, sorry about that pause, guys.
By the Gulf, which is already very toasty. I want to show you a spot here in Captiva Island. If you've ever been here, you probably know this place, or what used to be this place. This is the Mucky Duck. It's a beloved beach bar here. It's been around for 50 years, staple of the community. They're just now starting to rebuild, but the owners are telling us, if they're lucky, they'll get it back up and running this fall. And that's not the only small business that's having to deal with the impacts of last year's hurricane, and now we're already into this year's.
They said to get that restaurant back up to fall, and how long has it been since the last hurricane last year? So God forbid if another hurricane hits that area again, which might do damage to the built places being rebuilt. I hate to say this, but I don't think that little restaurant will be open back up anytime soon, bro. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Season, Aaron.
And so, what can the folks who own Lucky, the bar there, and other people in the area expect from this season?
Well, all the experts are saying it's going to be another above average season. We don't have an El Nino or La Nina, but we've got water temperatures that are well above average. They're already in the lower 80s. That's 2 to 3 degrees warmer than where they should be for this time of year. So climate change will play a role as well. We could see last year we saw 19 storms, 11 hurricanes. This year the forecast is to go maybe up to 10 hurricanes like we had last year. And as far as named storms, could see as many as 18 or 19 again, and about 4 or 5 major hurricanes. Of course, the question is, will one of those hit the coastline? That's what brings the impacts, and there's going to be at least a couple of those. There's something else that impacts hurricanes, and that's Saharan dust off the Sahara Desert in Africa. Sometimes we get plumes of dust that roll across the Atlantic. We've got one right now, and it's a pretty big one, and it's over Puerto Rico. Actually, air quality issues are poor there. It'll probably come over South Florida as well over the next couple of days. So it brings its own issues. But the good news with the dust, it does knock down hurricane activity. So at least right now, there are no hurricanes brewing in the Atlantic, but we've got a 6-month season ahead of us to deal with, and these folks are certainly anxious about that.
Yeah.
So basically, the Sahara dust is like basically keep catastrophic shit happening. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's that. Let me get to the main article here. It says the staff of FEMA were confused and dispirited on Monday after the acting head of the agency during a daily briefing that he had not been aware that the country has a hurricane season, according to 3 sources familiar with the meeting. The remark was made by David Robinson at the conclusion of an 8:30 a.m. daily operational briefing, typically attended by hundreds of FEMA staffers and interagency. Reuters was first to report the comment. FEMA, a former Marines Corps officer, has led FEMA since early May. It was not clear to staff whether he meant it literally or as a joke. No, that wasn't a joke. No, you don't joke about shit like that, bro. Hurricane season, like, you supposed to be like at FEMA. It's a significant agency. Like, you're supposed to make sure that people recover quickly from hurricanes and tornadoes and floods and stuff like that. But his current and former employees who spoke to CBS News said that the comment flustered many who genuinely believe Richardson was truly surprised to learn that hurricane season had started. Others said that any joke made by the leader about the upcoming season was delivered in poor taste, offending agency staff already suffering from low morale amid a flurry of resignations, firings, leadership overhauls, and polygraph tests distributed to staffers. Like, first of all, why the fuck you need a polygraph test to get a job in FEMA? Like, oh Jesus, we're so fucked, man. The Department of Homeland Security spokesperson later suggested that the comment wasn't serious. Oh, it was serious. Um, like the guy that's the head of FEMA is an idiot. It's just the way it is. I didn't know it was a hurricane season. I didn't know. Crazy thing is, he was part of the Marine Corps. Like, that's a significant part of the military. Like, you should know hurricane season exists. Like, don't the Marine Corps engineer like in New Orleans, for example, the dams and stuff, the levees and shit. Like, that's the Marine Corps. Make sure that you know, keep New Orleans from being underwater, because when Hurricane Katrina hit, that levee broke, and that's why you see bodies floating on top of the water, like literally. But let me continue. Despite mean-spirited attempts to falsely frame a joke as a policy, there's no uncertainty about what FEMA will be doing this hurricane season. FEMA is laser focused on disaster response and protecting America's people, the spokesperson said. Yeah. Like, didn't Doge and Trump cut FEMA? So, yeah. And the craziest thing is, like, see, that's why both of these parties ain't shit, because, you know, when it came to Asheville, for example, North Carolina, people are still living in tents, and shit like that. And then they left Asheville. By the way, Asheville's still like recovering from Hurricane Helene. Meanwhile, now since they definitely gutted FEMA, more people's going to suffer, unfortunately. It says, so yeah, that's it, man. Oh man, the United States is going back to the Gilded Ages, man. I swear.